Hi, friends. This is Heather, and I am a part-time reseller on Poshmark. My Poshmark closet name is Hot Posh Fashions, and we are going to be doing a closet evaluation for Stacy. So if that sounds interesting to you, it'll be full of tips and tricks that may be helpful to you as a new or an experienced seller. And if that sounds interesting to you, make sure you stick around because we're about to get into it. All right, so we're going to look at Stacy's closet. And this is Stacy's closet. And Stacy is a fairly new reseller. She's been selling from her own personal closet. And she started in October, and right now it's March. And she said she lists a few pieces every week or so, and it's just from her closet. She shares her own personal closet 8 to 10 times a day and partakes in a few posh parties here and there. So she says she adds 1 to 5 items per week, but she's getting close to the end of her personal supply, and she does some relisting. She doesn't partake in any particular follow schedule, community share schedule, and she's not in any type of automation. She doesn't really have a goal other than she likes to shop for herself personally, and she resells her used clothes or her new clothes that she did not wear in order to make a little bit of money for her guilty pleasure of shopping. So let's take a look at Stacy's closet. Okay. So first, I want to thank Stacy for allowing all of us into her closet in order to kind of dive into it and learn some tips and tricks. And so for the rest of this video, I'm going to be speaking to Stacy directly, but of course this video is for everyone. Okay, so first impression on the profile. Okay, so the profile picture is good. It's a picture, I assume, of Stacy, and she looks pleasant and approachable. The only advice I would give to you, Stacy, is to have an alternate picture for your header image, or the image in the background there. Maybe something that's not you, but something that has a feel for you or a feel for your closet. So for example, I noticed when I was in your closet that you have a lot of bright colors and things of that nature. So maybe something that encompasses you, the feel for your closet and your personality, as opposed to just a picture of you. For example, I like beach things. So I actually had mine designed, but it's very beachy. That's just my personal feel. That's my groove. I love the beach and I love that color scheme. So that is where I went with that. But you would do whatever, encompasses your personality and the feel you want to establish for your closet. Okay, so you've got your closet name as Stacy's Addiction, which is great. I have no problems with that. I would not make any changes to it at all because I think that it is what you said your closet is about. It's about helping you feel better about shopping for your personal self by making a little money on your things. So I think that's fine. It's got your name in it, which is fine. I like it. So we'll go with that. Okay, so one thing I did notice is that you're not taking advantage of this little space right here, which is prime real estate for anyone who is looking at your closet while on a laptop or computer, anything other than a mobile device. It's going to show up right there. And it may be that you're not aware of that because you are using a mobile device. But let me show you just what mine looks like. Okay, so right here on mine, I put that I always run a 3 for $30 sale. That's just something that's in my closet all the time. And I am also a top seller and a Posh mentor. So just anything that you feel like you want to get across real quick. And the way you add that is you go into, let me show you on mine because I don't think I can show you on yours. Okay, it's under Edit Profile. I had to think for a second. Under Edit Profile, and then where it says My Info, that line right there, that is where you would put that information, and it will show up at that part of your screen. This is also where you can change your profile picture and your header picture. I know I just told you to have different ones for yours, but mine kind of look the same, but they're different types of the same branding because I have branded my closet. Anyways, another tip I would give you is when you are, let me see, let's go for giggles. Let's go right here to followers. Let's just look at your followers. So if you'll notice something right here. Now, I've never actually noticed that before. That's weird. But this right here, see these exclamation points? And you see how it's like exclamation point space and then a name. If we go further down, exclamation point space name, blah, blah, blah. And then you start getting to 2 and so on and so forth and so on and so forth. And you're probably wondering what is up with all the exclamation points. Well, here's the thing. Is this system is essentially alphabetizing, but it's favoring the exclamation point. So what I have found is that it's actually exclamation point space that gets highest on the list. So this is helpful in that when other people are going into when other people are going into other people's followers and following their followers, you will be higher up on the list if your name says exclamation point space and whatever. So, for example, you see mine is, let me get back to my closet. Mine is exclamation point uniquely joyful, which uniquely joyful, my closet name is Hot Posh Fashions. Uniquely joyful is kind of like my motto for my closet. But that's what shows up when people are looking is uniquely joyful. So what you would do for yours, if you wanted to do something like that, is you would change your Stacy G to exclamation point space Stacy G. Is how you would raise yourself in the list, because right now you're going to show up as an S, which going by that, let's see how far down you'd be. Like just out of your 20,000, I don't even know if we'll get to you. So like you would be see how many times we have to scroll. Like we're just now hitting the A's, and we're probably already 100 people in. People tend to follow in batches of 100. So we're just at the C. So you would be way down on someone else's list if a third person was going in to follow the person's followers. Okay, so in order to get yourself higher on that list, what you do is change that name where it says Stacy G to exclamation point space Stacy G. Okay, so let's go back to your listings. Okay, so I've noticed, I've been playing with your closet for a little while now, kind of bouncing in and out of it. And there hasn't been any movement of the items, so not that I've noticed. So either you're not actively sharing at the moment, or you've shared your whole entire closet and just kind of kept the order the same, which is fine. What I would say is the first impression I see as a buyer when I come in is that you look like a professional seller. Your pictures are good. You have put effort into them. This looks good. The only thing I would say is that I would like to see some more consistency with the styling of the pictures, the way you're editing them. So, for example, you've got some with the white background. You've got some with these pastel backgrounds. And then you have some with like these patterned. We've got bright colors, we've got pastel colors, we've got all different things, which is fine as long as we have some type of consistency. And then we've got some where the backgrounds aren't removed. This, I think, is a wall in your house. So I would just say to get get all your pictures kind of on a branded consistency. Okay, so if we kind of like don't look at this picture right here, so let's just cover that picture up and look at the rest of this line. This looks like it's all from the same seller. This looks like a closet from the same person. Okay, this one looks like it could be from somebody else because it's a different style of editing. Okay, does that make sense? Same here. So like these two, I would expect to see in the same closet. This one I wouldn't expect to see with these. And this one I wouldn't, because it's a different style of editing. So just kind of, and I know that's time consuming, but just kind of go through and decide what you want your editing style to be. Decide what, are you going to do this? Are you going to have this print background? Are you going to have a solid white? Are you going to have, I would definitely recommend a background as opposed to like the house, even though your house is beautiful, by the way. I really like your style. I would definitely suggest picking something to have, but have it be consistent. I kind of do like the pastels. Those are kind of pretty. I'm not personally, I guess visually I'm a fan of the white backgrounds, but personally for my closet, I don't like white backgrounds because I just like color. Like I really enjoy having color. And so I make sure, so I actually have branded background, and you can see I'm not necessarily practicing what I preach in that I haven't gone through and updated. You can see I've gone through stages of photo editing. So, at one point it was the white background. At one point it was, this is a light box. At one point I was doing kind of like this editing, and I have so many listings that I just haven't and gone through and updated everything. But my current editing, photo editing, is this branded, which I had designed for me, this branded water in the background in various colors with my logo right there at the bottom left corner. And it's in the same exact position on every single picture. And that is my current branding. And like I said, you can see that I have not, it is a time-consuming, a very time-consuming endeavor to go through. And at one point I was doing this, where I was kind of making the background was a portion of the photo just blurred out. So you can see that I've kind of gone through an evolution of the way I do my backgrounds. But now they're that water, the different colored water with the logo, and I choose the color of water based on whatever's in the picture, whatever the item is. So that we'll come back to that. We'll come back to photos in a little while. But I just wanted to point out that, when I first come to your closet, this looks like a closet that I would want to buy from. Like just looking at these first rows, this looks like a closet with a person who has their act together, who is going to ship on time, who is going to package things in a way that they're going to be safe and arrive to me well, who's going to give me good customer service. This is what the people see when they walk in. Think about, you're a store and, the people walked in the door, and is the first thing they see a neat and organized store, or is the first thing they see, it looks like a tornado of first graders ran through there? So what does it look like? And yours has that good first impression. Okay, so let's move on. So listings, you have a total of 100, and I think I counted 72 active, which is a good number considering you've only been actively selling for a few months. What I would recommend for you is that you set yourself a goal of how many listings you want to achieve. And we'll kind of get into this a little later because I think that you have really great taste. And I think that you would, if you enjoy shopping, you would enjoy sourcing. And I think that if you are in Jacksonville, Florida, you probably have access to some pretty good sourcing areas. And you may really get into sourcing and reselling quality items for profit, and that profit could be your personal spending piggy bank, or it could become a vacation piggy bank or whatever, or just, something fun that you like doing because you enjoy shopping. And if you're anything like me, you love finding a deal. So, part of, for example, I do this reselling because, it's kind of our family's little side hustle, is how it started, just to make a little bit of extra money to make ends meet, especially when COVID first hit and things were just kind of uncertain. It was just a way to, make a little extra money. But it's kind of evolved into, yes, it is extra money for a family, even though, my husband and I both work full time and we're okay. But it gives us that little extra cushion so that we're a little bit more comfortable and we can do some of the things we want to do without really worrying about, taking money from somewhere else. But it's also something I enjoy because I'm not much for shopping for myself. I never really have been. I've never, really enjoyed, I wear scrubs to work, so I don't really get dressed up that much or anything like that, and it's just not something I enjoy shopping for myself. But I love a deal. I've been an avid Black Friday shopper since my oldest daughter was born. I love going and getting the deal. I get a thrill out of that. Even I would shop for someone else on Black Friday. I would be like, you give me your list and I'll go get your stuff, because I just love that thrill of, having an idea of what I want to go get and then getting it and having this awesome deal that I found. So I have found that in thrifting for my online stores. So, I get to go thrift and it's so exciting. You never know what you're going to find. Things are different every single time you go in there. And I know I said I was going to talk about this later, but it sounds like I'm talking about it right now. But you get to go in there and you never know what you're going to find. And sometimes, quite often, you find gems and you just get this amazing deal. And it's really exciting and it's fun. And, not only is it fun and it's a great hobby, but the upside of it is, you're going to make money off of it to then for your, in your case, if you like shopping for yourself, you'll make money to shop for yourself and maybe not feel so guilty about it. So that's just my little tidbit. I'm going to encourage you to consider getting into that. And I will tell you one thing with Poshmark is the more listings you have, the more listings you're going to sell. The algorithm really likes closets who are listing frequently and selling frequently. So that will give you a leg up and you will find that it really just takes off if you do that. Okay, so off that tangent, we might come back to it later, but listings. Okay, so you have, I think, 72 active listings. I have found that closets tend to really take off when they have 100 or more active listings. So I would encourage you to find those things, be it in your closet, in friends or families, if you want to make a little sourcing trip somewhere, or, if your husband's or your kids, or whoever, wherever you're going to find another, 20 or 25, 30 items just to kind of get you up past that 100. That's a really good goal to have. And I don't mean that you have to do it like today. I just think it's a goal that you should set for yourself to try to get to 100 active listings. It looks like you're sharing pretty well. You have reached Posh Ambassador status, and you have a decent number of shares. So you are an active sharer. And you told me that you share your personal closet 8 to 10 times a day, which is awesome. Sharing your personal closet is one of the most important things you need to be doing is sharing your own closet. If you do absolutely nothing else, you need to share your own closet. And I would say everyone who's listening, you need to be sharing your own closet at least a minimum of 3 to 4 times a day. And really, ideally, especially if you have a smaller closet or if you're automated, you need to be sharing your personal closet 8 to 10 times a day. So this is, I know Stacy, you told me you are sharing, so this isn't really going to be for you, but just for anybody watching, if you're unsure about sharing, so there is a feature right here on your own closet. If you click on that and go to share to followers, you can then, it's going to pop up these little boxes, you can then click on the boxes. If you have a small closet, this is not going to be very time consuming. You just click, 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 click on whatever, everything. Just click on everything. And then once you've clicked on everything, you're going to just click this share to followers, and it's going to share everything to your followers. Okay? So that's one feature within Poshmark. If you have a smaller closet, that's a great way to do that. And that is actually a newer feature that's only been out for just a few months. Before, you had to share each individual item manually, which was impossible. I would say once you reach 100 or more listings, I really recommend automation. And there's a lot of talk about automation, but here is the thing. I have been using automation for well over a year now, and I know I watch a lot of YouTube videos with a lot of sellers that have very large closets and make significant money on Poshmark. It is their part-time or full-time jobs. They have businesses, and anybody who's making money on Poshmark, significant money on Poshmark, to make an income and have a business, you have to be automated. There is no way you can sit there day after day after day clicking little buttons and sharing things. And quite honestly, I heard another YouTuber say that they actually find it offensive that Poshmark suggests that that's what they want you to do. It's offensive as a woman and as a businesswoman that you want me to sit there and click little buttons all day long when I can have a computer system do it for me. It's very offensive. And when I heard that, I was like, girl, I agree with you. And that's Common Tags is the YouTube channel that she said that. And I think it's in her video that's like why I hate Poshmark or something like that, even though she does sell on Poshmark, but like she has this beef with Poshmark that is, they insinuate to sellers that is what they expect of you, that they expect you to share manually and to share often manually. And it's insulting to women and to business women to expect them to sit there and press little buttons like a monkey all day long, essentially. So I'm saying, and I'm giving you permission to become automated, okay? If you want to do this, become automated. Stop wasting your time pressing buttons. Whoever's listening to this. I say 100 listings, but that was only because you did have to pay for it to become automated. There are many programs, Chrome extensions, apps that you can get that will share your closet for you. So that you are not sitting there pressing buttons all day long like a monkey. So that's why I've said 100, because 100 is kind of where you take off and where you really maybe start making some money. And so then you can kind of invest into something that's going to charge you to share. But there recently came out this new, you'll see it right here, FLYP reseller tools. I recently started using this. It just came out. Prior to this, I have used several different sharing services, and they all worked great. I didn't have complaints about any of them. I mean, they all had their different strengths and their different weaknesses, and they're all fine and dandy. But they all cost money, $20 a month, $30 a month, whatever. This tool right here from FLYP, which FLYP is actually historically has been an online consigning app where professional sellers and people who want to consign their clothing items or accessory items are matched up together and exchange items to sell online. Okay. But this is a tool. This is not associated with that app in that it is FLYP, but it is not a fee service. This is a tool that FLYP came out with to help their resellers be more successful. You do not have to be on the FLYP app to have this. You do not have to be one of their consigners to have this. You do not have to have any type of affiliation with FLYP to have this, and it is free. Okay? Everyone that's listening, if you are not currently automated, please, if you want to grow your closet and grow your, transition your hobby into a small business, into a part-time business, into a full-time position, whatever you want to do, if you want to grow, you need to become automated. Stop letting Poshmark and haters tell you that you cannot be automated. You can. Okay, you can. And not only can you, but you need to. Okay, so this is a free system that is new. And I've watched many, I have not talked to FLYP personally about this, but I have watched many YouTube videos, people who were being sponsored by FLYP and who did talk to FLYP personally. And FLYP has told them that they do not have any plans ever in the future of charging for this tool. This tool is always going to be free according to them. Okay, so this is a Chrome extension. Okay, I will link as of right now, you have to be invited into this, and I will link an invite into the description of this video. And there is a wait list. When I was on the wait list, it was like 3 or 4 days. I'm starting to hear it's roughly around the 6 to 7 day mark, but they're saying that you will get access within 7 to 10 days. This is not an app. There is no app currently for it. It is only a Chrome extension, so it has to be on a laptop or a computer. It cannot be on a phone or mobile device. Okay, so once you install this Chrome extension, it has multiple things. At this point, I have only used the sharer. It does also have a cross lister, and it has analytics, but the analytics only function off of the cross lister. I am currently using List Perfectly. I just recently started using it because I just recently have expanded into Depop and eBay just recently, like in the last month. So I started using List Perfectly because List Perfectly has the kinks work out, and FLYP is still kind of working out their kinks, and I just don't really want to invest time in waiting on them to work that out. So I'm right now just using this as a sharer. Okay, so essentially once you have it on, you have to have, okay, here's the couple caveats. You have to have your closet open to your closet. It has to be open to your listings. It is going to share whatever is on this page. So if you have your closet open, it's going to share your closet. If you have someone else's closet open, it's going to share that person's closet. So whatever you have open on this page is what it's going to share. If you don't have this page open, if this page is not active, or if this page is open to something else that does not have listings on it to share, when it comes time to share, it will error out. Okay, so that's one thing you have to have. The other thing that you have to do is you have to turn your sleep mode off. So you're going to go where, I don't even know where my settings are because this is actually new to me, but wherever in the heck, I've done it before, excuse me, wherever your settings are, you're going to turn off your sleep mode. Wherever it is, I don't know, it's somewhere. You need to turn it off so that even if your screen goes black, and even if you close your laptop or your Chromebook or whatever, that the programming will still run. Okay, with that being said, you also need to be connected to a Wi-Fi. And with that also being said, I would also keep your device plugged in, because this is going to be constantly running and constantly hooked up to the Wi-Fi, and therefore will run your battery down. So you need to be plugged in to keep your battery charged. But with all that being said, this is free. Okay, this is free. So you can, on this page, you can select the speed you want to share in, the order you want to share in. You can put, limits on it, blah, blah, blah. You can schedule a whole bunch of times all at the same time. So right now I have 14 times scheduled. Okay, you can put whatever number in there, and it's going to give you all these little slots. And then you select the times. As you can see, I have kind of random times, but I also have picked around party times. Okay, and then you'll have this thing that says start, and then it just stays like this. It says track progress. It just does this all the time, blah, blah, blah. If you go back up over here at the activity log, it'll show you what's being shared. Apparently it's offering for me. Okay, but if we scroll down a little bit, you'll see that it was sharing. So at 10:02, it's 11:01 right now. So blah, blah, blah. It was sharing, and I don't have it sharing at the moment. Also, you can do offers. So I have, after 10 minutes, I have it send a 20% offer with $5.95 shipping to anything that's going to have a minimum price of at least $10. And I don't have any exclusions, but every once in a while I do put exclusions on things that are new. And then you just hit start on that, and it does its thing. You can also, so say for example, I do this 20% offer, but say once a week, I want to do another 30%, I want to go more than that, or once a month or whatever. I can put in whatever I want and hit start, and it's going to send that to everybody. So this is sending offers to new likers. Every time someone likes something new, they get it after 10 minutes, they're going to get an offer. This would send out offers to everybody who's liked anything in your closet, who hasn't gotten an offer this high before. Okay, so there's that. There's also this follow feature. So you could say you want to follow everyone from a certain closet. Okay, so you could put the person's closet name in there and it would follow all of their followers. Or you can say you want to follow fresh closets or just join closets, which is ideal. Those are really the closets you want. These are the people that are going to be buyers. These are the people that are going to follow you back because they're trying to improve. They're either buying, just joined, or people that are shopping, and fresh closets are people that are new sellers that are trying to grow their closets. So these are really the people that you want to follow. You click start, it does its thing. This is just showing that I'm connected, blah, blah, blah. That's it. That is free. Okay. And you can see, so it's 11:03 a.m. and this has already done 2,435 shares for me. It's already sent 25 offers. It's followed. It's solved my captchas for me. Everything. I have done nothing to this. It is just doing its thing. Okay. And it is free. Okay. So everybody, please, for your own good, become automated, and before you invest any money, try this tool, because this tool is free, and quite honestly, it does what it needs to do. Okay, it's going to do what it needs to do. Does it have some weaknesses in that it doesn't share back? It doesn't follow back. Excuse me, like some other services do. Some of them will share back people who share you. Some of them will follow back people who follow you. And that's great and wonderful and marvelous. But if you are currently doing everything manually, then this is still going to save you time for free, because you're not going to have to manually share your closet, and therefore you can share it more often. And, if you still feel the need that you need to share back and follow back, you can still do that manually like you're already doing. I don't think those are 100% necessary things to do. I think that they're more important early on in your closet, but as you become more, more established, I don't think they're as necessary to do. So it is a weakness of this tool, but it is not such a weakness that I would advise not using this tool, considering it is free. Now, if this tool was not free and cost the same amount as the other tools who do offer those things, of course I would say to use it on other ones that offer the sharebacks and the followbacks. But, or the, mass editing, some of them have where you can mass edit your closet. So you can drop all the prices in your closet by 10% or whatever. You can do something to your whole entire closet all at once. And that's great and wonderful, but you have to pay for that. And this is free. So if we're just talking about sharing and following and sending out offers and blah, 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 this is free. If you don't have a tool that you're using, or if you have a tool that you're using that you're tired of paying money for, then come try this. The referral code in order to get access to be invited will be in the description. Okay, Stacy, back to your closet. I think that that's probably still relevant for you, Stacy, because I don't know. You did tell me you were not using automation, so you were not using any tools. So I highly recommend you do that, because you are sharing 8 to 10 times a day. That's a lot. Even though it's only 72 items, that's still time consuming. So you're probably still spending an hour a day sharing, and that's an hour a day that you could be doing something else and let, FLYP reseller tool do it for you for free. Excuse my cough. I've got the crud that everyone's got. That's not COVID. Okay, so you have a good number of followers and following for the stage you are in your closet. You're good. You're following a lot, and you're not getting as many followers back. But I think that's a pretty normal ratio right there. I don't think that, there's anything wrong. I think you're getting back what, essentially normally. If we look at mine, let's see, I've got a little under double. So, yeah, I mean, I think you're fine. I think you're okay there. I don't think you're excessively following or anything like that. And again, you're following manually, so you can up your follow game with this tool right here and really up your follow game. And by upping your follow game, you're gonna up your followers. Which again, a lot of people will say that followers is not super important. And it's really not, because all that means is that when you share something, it goes to their newsfeed, but not a lot of people shop their newsfeed. But a lot of people do share from their newsfeed. So if you want other people to share your items, it is helpful to have followers, because they're going to share from their newsfeed. And when you share things to their newsfeed, they're then going to share. It's going to kind of be this, this trickle effect down to get more and more eyes on your items. And yes, it may be minuscule, but minuscule adds up. And, when you're talking free and automated, then minuscule adds up and it's good. So, go for it. Do it. That in that case, would I recommend sitting there and spending an hour, 2-3 hours a day manually following people? No, it's not. It is not a useful a way to use your time. Excuse me. But if you can have automation do it for free, by all means, increase your following in order to increase your followers in order to get more eyes on your products. The end. Let me get a drink of water. Okay. Now, you sent me your best listing, what you thought was your best listing, and what you thought was your needs improvement listing. Okay, so this is the one you said you thought was your best listing. And I think it's a good listing. Okay, I think that for most closets I would say that this would be their, an amazing listing. And I think it is a really good one. So, a couple things I would say is in scrolling, if I was to be scrolling on a feed, or if I was searching for, let's say I search for, let's just say I search for the word blazer. Okay. And then let's not say that. Let's say I search for the word the limited. Okay. Let's just say I search for the word the limited. What did it just do? Oh, I didn't know it would do that. Whoops. It actually went to the limited. Okay. So let's say I was searching for the word the limited. Okay. And I was scrolling. I don't know, in scrolling and seeing just this picture, that I would right off the bat realize that this is for the blazer. Okay. I love that you're styling your items. I think that's a really, really, really good idea. But in this one, I think you might have overstyled it. In this one, actually, the purse and the scarf. I hate it when my computer does that. Hold on. Why does it do that? Okay. In this one, I think the purse and the scarf are overshadowing your blazer. So what I would say is actually that picture is stronger. I would say get rid of the purse. Excuse me. I would say actually just go ahead and edit this picture right here and put this as your cover photo, because I can tell it's the blazer that you're advertising, as opposed to here, like the purse is really overshadowing it. And, the scarf is almost overshadowing it too, in that is such a statement piece. So you want the accessories to complement whatever you're selling, as opposed to overshadow what you're selling. So just be careful with that. But I do like that you are putting in that effort to style, and I think you have great style. But just think about that. Think about, if I was scrolling, what do I think is the product in this picture? And I almost feel like the product in this picture is the purse, but it's not a very good picture of the purse. It's kind of what I think. Like, my eye is drawn to that purse. Like, that's what is being showcased. But it could be showcased better. You know what I mean? So that's what I would say. Again, I would say with the background, decide what your backgrounds are going to be. I actually prefer, like, I don't know if, I think that if you're going to do, I don't know. I kind of just not feeling this one. But kind of play with it and decide what you want to run with. I would also say, I assume you're using Photo Room because this feels like Photo Room. And I would say remove the shadows. I don't keep the shadows. I take them off just because I think it distracts from the pop. So you want your items to pop. And we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to pictures. But you really want your items to pop off the screen. And this would pop a lot more without the shadow. It kind of darkens it. So get rid of the shadows. Also, this is just a little pet peeve of mine. Be careful when you're editing. Make sure you go in and manually, if it didn't take that out for you, you can go in and manually get that right there. Most people aren't going to notice that. That's just a little, if you have an extra second, that's just a little thing that I like to take care of. Okay, so you've got the title, stretch gray, blazer, size 8, excellent use condition. Okay, so what I would say is a couple things. One, you want to sell for more than just, you want to list for more than just Poshmark. You want to keep in mind that there are people, you want to make your store, your closet, accessible to more than just Poshmark buyers, because there are a lot of buyers who are not Poshmark, savvy buyers that are just Google searching and come across your stuff. And you want to make it so that they, come across your stuff more often. And the way you do that is by having a good, strong title and a good, strong description. So the limited stretch gray blazer, size 8, excellent use condition. On Google, this right here is meaningless. Take that out. And I would actually recommend things like this: new with tags, new without tags, excellent use condition. Don't use the abbreviations at all. You need to be thinking like a person who does not know Poshmark. Okay, like if my husband, excuse me, I'm dying over here. If my husband was Google searching, he would not have any idea what EUC means. Okay, if your kid's teacher was Google, if they've never been on Poshmark before and they're not an online seller, do they know what EUC means? They don't. They have no idea. Do they know what NWT means? No, probably not. So you need to make sure so just get rid of that. Just get rid of that altogether. Poshmark has this great little feature where if something's new, you put new and it will show up on somewhere on here. Otherwise, it will just be blank. Okay, so now with that being said, you want to let people know that it's used. Okay, perfect. And what condition of use it's in. Great. So put it down here in your description. But I would say I have heard that instead of putting, so here's, you can put EUC just in case someone's searching for EUC. Fine, put EUC. But I actually like the term excellent pre-used or pre-loved condition. So let me see if I can find something. I'm going to have to go down a little bit. Pre-loved, just, I think, psychologically just sounds better. I bet it's on this one. I bet I've got it on here. Let's see. I was looking for something that's a newer listing that I know I have it on, that I know is... no, this is a new without tags. Okay, but see how I have it written out, new without tags? I mean, you can also put NWT just in case someone's searching for it, but it's not in the title because it doesn't search well on Google SEO. I'm going to spend too much time looking for this. How about right here? This might have it. Maybe. There we go. Excellent pre-loved condition. Okay. So it's the same thing as excellent use condition, but that word just sounds, it just sounds prettier. It's less turn-offy. It makes you feel a little less like you're buying somebody else's stuff. So excellent pre-loved condition. It also insinuates that the person who did have it before cared about it and took care of it. And put effort into caring for it properly. So that is how I word that, and I've heard other people do that too, but if you want to still have your, little what do they call, not keyword, your little EUCs or whatever. You can put them, just don't have them be your only thing, and don't waste characters up here with it. Okay, commas also, Google SEO searches don't like punctuation at all. So dashes, slashes, commas, hyphens, all that stuff, just go ahead and get rid of all of those. Let's see, what else can we put here? Okay, you could put the word lined. You could put the word fitted, or tailored is another good word. Those are all where you could put, if it's a material that you like for example, or not that you like, but a good material. If it's a material like cotton or linen or cashmere or whatever, put those in your title because they're going to be searchable. So I would get rid of the excellent use condition right there. I would get rid of the comma, and I would add the word, do you have stretch? Yeah. I would add the word lined and either fitted or tailored, or one of those. And I would use as many of your characters as you can. You have a lot of characters that you're allowed to use. The more you have in there, the more searchable you are. So make sure you put all those little descriptive words in there that somebody might search for. Okay? Another thing you could put in there would be like business or office, or workwear, or something like that. If you have room, you can put things like that, because this is like an office piece or a work piece, or something of that. Career wear is a good one to put. Things like that. If you have room, you can get that in there too. Also, let's see. Do you have? Okay, so I don't see your style tags. So make sure you're getting style tags. So for this one, what I would put as style tag is I would put stretch. I would put, they don't have career wear as a style tag. They have office, I think. So I would put office, and then I would probably put either fitted or tailored or something like that as your style. You can have 3 style tags, use them. It's a gift that Poshmark gives you. Honestly, I haven't figured out how much they help or not, but it's better to have them and not need them than need them and not have them. So that would be what I would suggest for that. I think those are a few little ways you could spruce up this listing. Okay, next let's kind of look at price. So I like that you're doing 0 right here. That is also what I do. I feel like unless you know the original price of the item 100% for sure, and you're going to be doing at least a 50% difference, then I keep this 0. If this jacket was originally $395 and for a fact it was $395, which I know it's not, but let's say it was. Let's say it's some designer jacket, or it's $695 and you're selling it for $35. Well, in that case, by all means, put it there. But if you don't know for sure, and if that difference is not a minimum of 50%, then just keep it 0, which is what you're doing. Perfect. Okay. I think that overall, no visible flaws aware, super flattering. I think that overall you're pretty good here. You're good here. You've got your color. I think all that looks pretty good. Medium gray color pictures read a bit lighter than actual color. I would really try. So one thing I do, let me look at your pictures. One thing I do is when I'm flat laying to take my measurements, I make a really strong effort to try to get at least one photo where I feel like the color is showing very accurately. So, or, where that's showing the print or the fabric or whatever. And sometimes I have to do that by kind of wrinkling up the fabric. Hold on, this is a new one I just did. Let me see if I've got it in here. I might not, I don't know. Sometimes I kind of have to I didn't do it on that one. Wrinkle up the fabric, not wrinkle, but bunch it up. And when I bunch it up, I've got all these kids things showing. It kind of will make it show a little bit better. I'll have to get to something that I would actually have it on. possibly right here. Hold on, let me see. Okay, I didn't really wrinkle up, but I did get real close. And actually, I'm not actually that close with my camera. I have actually used the zoom feature on my camera to zoom in. I'm probably, I look like I'm an inch away, but I'm probably maybe 6 to 8 inches away when I took that picture, and I used the zoom to zoom in, but I didn't want to get the camera close because sometimes that distorts the lighting, or the camera can cast a shadow, the phone can cast a shadow, or whatever, but I wanted to really show that. If it wasn't showing good like this, if you bunch it up, I don't know if that makes sense, but if you kind of bunch it up a little bit, you can get like the actual, like it can show the color a little better. So that would be my advice if you're having trouble getting a fabric or a color to show, is to kind of back off a little bit and then zoom in with your camera and bunch it up if you need to. I know I do this like all the time, and I cannot find anything to show you a good example of, and I promise I do this. I promise I do this, and I cannot find anything to show you. I wonder, maybe here? I don't know. Or maybe here? I don't know. Or maybe here. I don't know. Let's look at this. Let's see if I did it on this one, because this is a pattern, so I also sometimes will put it at a little bit of an angle, and I bet that's what I did with this. Let's see. Sometimes I'll put it at like a little bit. I've clicked too many times. Okay, see, I've kind of, if that's kind of at a little bit of an angle. I don't know if you can tell that or not, but like this elephant and this elephant are actually the same size, if that helps. So you tell that I've got the camera at an angle, and like this is closer than that is. It's not facing straight down onto it, but just to kind of like get the different, and I've intentionally put have a couple little wrinkles in there just to kind of get a good feel of what that looks like. And that is accurately the colors. Like I'm looking at it on the screen, and that looks real accurate, and I can see all the details, and I've just kind of backed off a couple inches and zoomed in a little bit, and what just happened? Okay, there we go. But anyway, so that is what I would suggest. You don't necessarily have to go back and do it, but just like in the future, if you notice that the pictures aren't showing good, just get in there with your zoom, like just back off a couple inches, get in with your zoom, sprinkle up the material, and it will kind of give those highs and lows so that you don't necessarily have this color issue. Okay, let's go to your listing that you said you think needs improvement. And let me just as a caveat with that listing right there that you said that you thought was your strongest listing, I agree. I think it's a strong listing. I mean, I am definitely looking for things to give you recommendations on, just because, you want recommendations. So, I mean, there's nothing, it's not that is wrong. I'm just trying to give you things that I think you could improve upon. Okay. Here's something I would improve upon. So I have like Ann Taylor loft type things like that. I have a lot of them actually. And anything that is factory or outlet, I don't actually put it in the description at all. Like I don't put it in the title. I don't put it in the description. I will take a picture. Do you have tag pictures? Okay, you need your tag pictures closer. Again, you can, when you're taking your photos, just use your zoom and get that closer so that, because I can't read it. I mean, and not everybody's going to take the time for them to zoom in on it. So you want to zoom in on it and make sure that you've got not only the tag showing the brand and the size, but you also want to make sure that you're getting the tags that show the material and the care, how the item needs to be cared for. If they have those tags, you need to get the pictures of them and just use your zoom feature, because you can see them better if you zoom in on them. If you're like 6 to 12 inches away and use your zoom, the pictures come out better than if you don't use your zoom and you get the camera really, really close. That kind of sometimes casts a shadow. So with that being said, if you had pictures, legible pictures of your tag, it would show factory, and you wouldn't have the need to put factory in there, which is can be a little bit of a turnoff for some people. They may not go any further to look at your item because of that. But if that wasn't there, they may look at it, decide it's really great what they want, and then they may say, oh, it's factory, but that's okay because I really like it, but at least they got to the point of looking at the item. At least they got deep enough into it to look at it and didn't stop right at factory or outlet or whatever. So just don't even put those words. Just get good pictures of your tags, and your tags will show it for you. And if anyone ever has an issue, it's on the tag. So signature trouser, pants. I assume I cannot read that. So any of that. So I assume, let's see. See, even when I zoom, it's hard to read. So you definitely need better, I can't even verify that the size is the size you say it is. So you definitely need to make sure you're getting good pictures of that tag, your care tag, and your materials tags that are readable. And think about, you want them readable on a phone. You want them to be, so if somebody just clicked on it, it's going to read on the phone without them zooming in. Whether that means you have to zoom and take your picture accurately right off the bat, or you have to edit it to get it to where you want, whatever. Let me see. I need to refresh my closet. Apparently I'm not sharing right now. Click the wrong thing. That's the wrong thing. That's not what I wanted. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Please hold. Yep, that's not what I wanted either. Okay. I want to go to my closet, not my boutique. Get rid of all these boutique things for a second because... Okay, here we go. Okay, let's just look at this one a second, because I just did this one yesterday, so I know it's my up-to-date styling of how I do things. So actually it's not, because I take that back, because my VA did not list this one. I listed it myself, so and I'm a little lazier than my VA is, but we're talking about pictures for the moment, and I do know that the pictures are what I want. Okay, so instead of, when I have my VA create my listings, I do have them put the measurements into the description, and I'll show you one of those here in a minute. But when I make them, I do not take that time to do that. What I do is I just take pictures while I'm measuring, and then there's no question as to how I measured it or whether or not I was accurate with my measurements. You can see it. You can except those, I'm having trouble seeing where they're starting, but essentially this is a pit to the end and this is a pit to the cuff, and you can see that. If I put it over here and put some measurement and the person gets it and is like, well, that's not the measurement, I can say, well, there's the pictures, so you show me a picture that shows something other than that, and we'll talk. So they can't state that I was inaccurate with my measurements, because my measurements are photographed and in the listing, and there's no argument about it. Let's see. There's no argument about it because they don't have to, there's no question of whether I'm being accurate. I'm not saying what it is. I'm not telling you how much that is. All I'm doing is saying, okay, there's pit to pit. What do you think it is? Looks like 18 to me. So there's my pit to hem. That's how I measured. What are you getting? Looks like about a 29 and a half. So, I didn't put it over here. Here's another listing I made as opposed to my VA. Now my VA does, but let me find one Let me see if I can find something that I know my VA made, because I've had them put approximate. Did my VA do this? Maybe? I don't know. Let's see. Yes. Okay. So my VA did this one. Okay. So you can see approximate measurements, pit to hem. Okay. So, but I also have them here. So pit to pit, I would agree, 12. Okay. And that's what they've got there, 12. But it's duplicated. So there's no question, pit to hem. It looks like the outer skirt is 20 and the inner skirt is going to 23, and they put 22 and a half, which is fine because the picture is there. So, if anyone says something about the description being about something being wrong, like I would argue, okay, well, you lay it down, you take a picture of the measurements and get something other than either this or this, because you had access to both things to view. So if you get something other than those, we'll talk. Otherwise, that's all I got to say about that. So I would have those, and then you measured it. So you measured it. So you might as well take a picture. I assume you measured it while you were taking these pictures. So just take a picture of the measurements and then put them in there, and then you can choose whether you write it out or not. I mean, if you still want to write it out, by all means write it out. But if you don't want to take that time, you wouldn't have to, because it would be in the pictures. But it's also, like I said, it's also a way that to have it in the picture. Okay, I apologize for the little skip there. I was having some computer issues, but essentially what I was saying is that if you have your measurements in the pictures, that there's no discussion about how you measured. The person can actually see how you measured from exactly where your start to where your end is, and you don't have to worry about the accuracy of the numbers you're entering. They can see it for themselves. Okay, so let's move on from that. Okay, so take the word factory out. Okay, signature, trouser, pants, get rid of the comma. Women's is fine. I only put the women's, men's in there if I have the space. If I don't have the space, I don't. An excellent use condition, again, don't even bother with using that 3 things there. So let's see. Other things you could add up in there are your color. So you could put camel space brown. You could also add stretch, because there's spandex. Anytime there's spandex, you can pretty much use the word stretch. You can add the word career wear or office or casual or neutral. Words like that, those keywords that people are going to be searching for. People don't generally search for woman. They definitely don't search for this right here. So you're just wasting characters. Get rid of, like I said, get rid of factory. I don't know if this is Ann Taylor Loft. I can't see, but if it was Ann Taylor Loft, I would put loft in there too, just because some people might search the word loft. Is this an actual Ann Taylor factory, or did you type that in? Or is that an actual... I don't believe I've ever seen Ann Taylor factory in there as an option, but I don't know. And I have a lot of Ann Taylor and Ann Taylor Loft pieces. So I don't know about that. But anyways, like I said, if you have a picture of your tag, none of that matters. Okay, so another thing I would recommend is when you have, it looks like you've taken your title and pasted it here, I would also paste it again at the very end, because there's some evidence that SEOs pick up on the words at the beginning and the end. So I would also have it duplicated again down here at the bottom. It's a good thing that you put flat lay. I would, and you have approximate. You've got your stuff here, but again, if you had a picture of your tag, that wouldn't be necessary for you to write that unless it was a fabric that you think people would be searching for. So for example, if it's cashmere, if it's linen, if it's cotton, if it's wool, if it's lamb's wool, if it's alpaca, whatever, fabrics that people are going to actually be typing in the word and looking for them. Otherwise, you don't need to take this time. You can just snap a photo. It's so much easier when you're taking pictures to just snap that photo and put it in your listing. You're sitting there taking pictures anyways. You had to look at it to get this information to begin with. Heck, you might have even photographed it to get the information to begin with. But instead of taking the time, I'm just giving you like time-saving techniques. I'm not saying you can't put this here or that it's wrong to put that there. It's perfectly fine to put that there. I'm just giving you a tip on a way you could save some time and get the same thing accomplished without putting as much time in. So a picture would suffice and you wouldn't have to write it out, is all I'm saying. And that's the same with the measurements. A picture would suffice and you wouldn't have to write it out. If you still want to, great, fine, write it out. But, then there's no, what if you typoed something? What if, I don't know. Anything could happen. If you have a picture, pictures don't lie. So the picture is going to, speak 1,000 words. Pairs nicely with literally anything. Okay. All right. So another thing I would put is what's called a buyer confidence statement. And it's hard when you're new to do that, but let's kind of look. I could have just clicked on your name. Okay, let's kind of look at things you could put in a buyer confidence statement. For an example, let's look at mine. Okay, we'll just go back to this listing because I am fairly confident there's one in here. Okay, so here is a buyer confidence statement, which is not edited correctly, but okay, whatever. So this is what I have. I have a shop with confidence. This is what I'm newly putting. Actually, let's just go to the one I did last night because I know it's right. This. Okay. I photographed and inventoried 50 items yesterday, and whew, it was fun. Okay, so here's my buyer confidence statement. Shop with confidence, Posh Ambassador 2, so you could put Posh Ambassador, top seller with over 1,000 sales. I'm actually over 1,200 right now. Top rated with 4.9 stars, top share, Posh Mentor, 2-day average shipping, but I can do same or next day shipping if they request it. I put love the item but not the price. I love offers. Don't be shy. Let's make a deal. Okay, so I put that on all my listings. You can see I have the title at the beginning and the end. This is an inventory number with the new inventory system I'm using. And when my VA does it, they also have a section that you saw in one of the other ones where they put all these like descriptor things and they write out the measurements and all that stuff. I don't take the time to do that because I just don't, but when I pay them to do it, they do all the kit and caboodle all at one price, so by all means, I have them do it. So that's not like a perfect anything. I was just using that as an example to show my the buyer's confidence statement. Okay, so and then when you come up with your buyer's confidence statement, which I'll kind of show you how to do that, you can save it on your phone as a text. What's it called? Can't think of the word. Text replacement. So I type the letters BWC, buy with confidence, and it fills all that in for me. So I've just saved it in my phone, and every time I want to do it, I don't type that whole thing out. I just type in the letters that I've decided I want to use as like a quick text, and it just auto-fills that. And you can do that with any number of things. I do it sometimes when I'm sending out mass shoppers messages and stuff like that. Anyways, neither here nor there. That was just a little tidbit. So the way you can come up with one of these is, first of all, you are a Posh ambassador. So you got that going for you. You can say, let's see. I think it will show me. Okay, you can say that you have a 1-day shipping time, or you could say ships next day, or you could say ship same or next day, something like that. You can say that you're active. I am an active seller. I am active on the app, or I'm daily active, or whatever, something like that to show that. So this is not a strength yet because you don't have many. So you don't want to say anything about this yet. But you could make a listing that just shows that, or something of that nature that just kind of advertises that. You could say that you share new Poshers. So let me go. I'm not sure how to get to all the little things on yours. So let me go to me. Why do I keep clicking on drafts? I think this is where it is. I use my phone a lot. So, okay, so here's some things. Oh, my average ship time's better. Yay! It was 2. I've improved. Yay. Where is it? Hold on. Seller. Account, order activity. It's in something. I apologize. I'm trying to think of where it is. I might have to just look on my phone and then tell you. Hold on. Let me look on my phone because I do everything. The only time I use my computer to do stuff on Poshmark specifically is when I am doing one of these videos, making one of these videos, and it's because I need to be able. It just does better on the computer screen than it does on the phone when I make it the YouTube video. My insight, that's not it. My Posh Stats is what it's called. Okay. Do I see that on here? My Posh Stats. I don't know. I don't know where that is on here. But on your app, it's the same place where all this stuff is, but it says My Posh Stats, okay? And then when you get to it, it says some of this stuff. Like it says this right here, it has that. It has my average sip time. I mean, it's got some of these things on there, but I don't see all the rest of it. But essentially it says that I'm a Posh ambassador too. It tells me how many available listings I have. So right now it says I have 887 available listings. It tells me my average discount price, which is not necessarily anything I want to brag about because it's a lot. It tells me how many shares. But what's more important is if I go to... so it gives you like these little awards or whatever. So it says I'm a top seller. It has like this little award thing that says top seller. It tells me I'm a fast shipper. It tells me I'm a top rated seller. And that's where I got those. Okay, that's where I got these words. Okay, so it says that I'm a top seller. And right now it says I have 1,183 sold listings. So I just have over 1,000. It says that I'm a fast shipper. Okay. I didn't put fast shipper on here, but it is calling me a fast shipper. And this says 2 days, but somewhere else it said 1 day. But anyways, I put 2-day average shipping, but they're using the word fast shipper. It also says I'm a top rated seller. So top rated seller with 4.9 stars. It also says I'm a top sharer. I have 751,000 blah, blah, blah shares. I'm also a Posh mentor, and you get Posh Mentor by sharing new Poshers closets, which it looks like you do. So I've got the little title that says Posh Mentor with 10,801 shares of new Poshers. So that is where I am getting those, and I cannot find it on this screen, but it is easy to find on the app. You just go in here, and like I said, it says, my Posher Stats or whatever I said it said. And it will give you all these little keywords, and you can see if you're ranking for any of these things. And if you are, those are the types of things to put in there. You definitely can do fast shipper because it said 1 day, but those are the types of things that you can put in there that just make it so that buyers have confidence in you. Whatever that you want to put there that kind of gives that feel. And so, as a new seller, you may have to kind of be creative and come up with things that you can do, that you can put there. I mean, even if there's something that's not specifically Poshmark, but that, shows that you're professional and that you're going to do what you say you're going to do. Okay. And other things can do that too, besides the buyer confidence statement, just like the way you take your pictures, the way you do your listings, your activity on the platform, all those things can kind of show that you're a trustworthy person and professional. Okay, so that's your needs improvement. Did we finish with it? Or were we still talking about it? Let's see, where were we? I think we were done with that one. Okay, so I clicked on a couple other things here that I just wanted to talk about. Let's see, I clicked on this one, and I think I clicked on this one because when I was scrolling through your closet and I was just looking at the pictures, I thought this was an ad for the shoes. So it took me a second to realize, I was like, that's not a very good picture for those shoes, is what I thought. And I thought, well, this needs to be a more zoomed in picture. But then I realized that it's actually a picture for the skirt. So I don't know. What I would suggest is, this is definitely a stock photo, I believe, unless that's you, but I think it's a stock photo. So if you're going to use the stock photo, be sure to use the one that's the full picture. And if you are having trouble finding that, you could even put this picture into Google Lens and find more pictures like it. If you aren't familiar with Google Lens, let's see. I think I can do it on here. Google Lens. Okay, it's a big old to-do. Anyways, I do it on my phone all the time. But anyways, you would just put this picture into Google Lens. It's going to search the internet for pictures like this picture or pictures like it. And hopefully you could find a picture of the full skirt. And then I would put that in. But at least get the skirt so that you know it's the skirt that you're showing and not, like I said, I thought it was just a really bad ad for the shoes. Because I wouldn't expect a skirt to be cut off like that. In the meantime, this is probably better than that because that's not showcasing the skirt very well. Okay, so that's why I clicked on that one and liked it. Let's see. I'm going to unlike the things we've already talked about. We've talked about that. We've talked about that. We've talked about that. Okay, so this is one that the reason I clicked on this is because this is something I used to do all the time, and it doesn't help you. Okay, so this right here, if somebody was looking for this dress on Google, they would have trouble finding your listing because Google doesn't understand this. This is a bunch of gibberish to it. And so, especially with it being at the very front, it's just like a search engine optimization thing that it does not like that. So that's fine and dandy for Poshmark, people shopping on Poshmark who know the culture of Poshmark, but not everybody shopping on Poshmark knows the culture of Poshmark, and not everybody shopping for this dress has anything to do with Poshmark. They could just be shopping for this dress and come across it, and you want that. I mean, I sell so much stuff to people who are using guest accounts or are a brand new account or whatever, and they don't know what that means. They have no idea. Like, I know what it means, you know what it means, Poshmark sellers know what it means, but that's it. I mean, it's basically a bragging right to other Poshmark people, but meaningless if you're trying to sell something. The people buying don't know and they don't care. So 2 suggestions. 1, I quit wasting my time trying to get host picks. I used to put probably an hour a day into, I would message every single host and try to get host picks, and I would get tons. I mean, I got tons of host picks. And quite honestly, when I stopped doing that, there was no change in my sales, as far as it did not hurt my sales to not be doing that. Therefore, if it did not hurt my sales to not be doing that, it was not helping my sales to do it. And I don't think that there's many people that are experienced sellers who would say that that is helpful to their sales or necessary for their sales. So spend your time doing something else. Spend your time fixing the listings you do have. Spend your time listing the things you still have to list. Spend your time starting to source, starting to grow. You like shopping. You probably like to find a deal. So start sourcing. If you've run out of things in your own closet, you have great style. You know what to look for. So go look for it. So spend your time doing other things. This isn't helping you, and it's fun and it's exciting. You got a host pick, and I get it. I used to do it all the time. I 100% understand, but it's unnecessary and it's not helping you be a seller. It's helping you in the social aspect. Like, you have some social aspects going on Poshmark, but it's not really that important as a seller. So, and it's definitely not helping you in the search engine optimization, the SEOs of Google. So just don't. Another thing I would say, okay, so you've got a stock photo here, and I am okay with stock photos. I seek them out myself because I feel like that, they look, to me, if I was wanting to buy something, it just looks better on a person, on a model, than it does even on a mannequin or a dress form or whatever. It just looks better on the professional model. But I won't use them when they're low quality like that, because this is such not a good quality picture, and it's not your fault. It's just the picture you found. Either you found it on the internet and it was bad quality, or you saved it from a low quality format, like from the search engine, as opposed to going straight to the website and taking it from the website. And the reason I say that is because this one is actually good. So this one, the quality is fine. If this quality was in this picture, I would keep that. But that is so blurry and so fuzzy that I think it's hurting you. I think if you had to choose between this photo and this photo, I would edit out the background on this one and use this. But if you can find that modeled photo in this quality, that would be great too. And it's probably do a Google Lens search again, find this picture, and it's probably in the same place. I bet $100 million what you did is you searched it, you got that one, and you took that from the search engine, which is a low quality photo, and then you went into the listing of wherever it was on whatever store you found it at or whatever, and you got this additional photo in its full entirety of pixelation and everything, but this original one you got was low pixelation because it was in a search feature and it's just a little, a little click tab or whatever. And you just need to get the higher quality one, or if you cannot find it, just edit this one and use this one because this is a stronger photo than that is. Okay, so that's what I'm going to say about this particular listing. Again, the comma, asymmetric flutters. I would say something about this print in your title. This is like a pink animal/cheetah print. You need to have that in the title. Those are also things to have in your style tags, which you've got one, but use all your style tags. If you want to put host pick down here, just because you want to brag about it, that's fine, but don't have it be your beginning, because those are, the first line or two and the last line or two are your most important lines of your description. So you want things that are going to be search engine optimization right there, and not things that are not going to help you in a Google search. Think about if someone was searching for this exact dress on Google search, what would they put in? They're not going to put in host pick. Okay? When you looked for this exact dress to get your stock photos, what did you put in? That's what you want as your title. That's what you want as the first line or two on your description and the last line or two in your description. Okay, right here you have the original price and the price you have listed. Is this new with tags? New with tags. Okay. Where's your little new with tag? I don't see it. Make sure if this is new with tags, just make sure that you've got the new with, oh, there it is. Okay, you've got it. That's like right on the border. Like, I don't know if I would put the 149 or if I would put the 0. That's right there on the border. I don't know. That's kind of a judgment call, but I mean, you're cutting it really close there. You're right at that 50%. So if you're not getting a lot of traffic to this one, that is what I would do, is kind of just change that to a 0 and see if that helps you at all. Anyways, let's see. What do you got in your form of pictures? Definitely you need to have something in your title about all this fabric. Oh, you have asymmetric. Okay. And you might even be able to find when see, this is a good fabric. Yeah, you did good there. It might be a little dark, and I bet what you did is I bet you've got your camera really close to it as opposed to zoomed in. So back your camera off and zoom in so that you get rid of some of those shadows. Okay. I hate it when my computer does that. Okay, and good, you've got a picture of this. Okay, so this is also good because, okay, you've got like color, soft ash, you've got style. So these are things you can put in your description if you want to help, because some people might know exactly what they're looking for. I don't tend to do this, but some people might know exactly what they're looking for. But I would have this stuff, you have room in your title. So have spring injection, soft ash in there. So Vince Camuto, spring injection, soft ash, asymmetric, flutter, pink cheetah print, dress, size small. If you need to abbreviate size, it can be SZ for size small, but that should all be able to fit there. So look up this. Another thing you can do is, if you're not sure like how to describe, what words to use to describe this, have you done it already? Fully lined colors, just a soft, fast, small tones. You can, when you find this, you can try to find this online, and if you find a listing at a store, you can use however they're describing it. You can kind of copy and paste it or use some of their keywords or whatever. They might come up with really good keywords that you haven't thought of, and you can use that in your description. You can use those keywords in your title or whatever you want to do there. Okay, let's go. I think my family's home, so I may have to pause. Okay, so now let's look at this right here. I've got it clicked on. I clicked on this. I think this is adorable, but I think you're missing a couple of keywords that I think would help you. Again, the new with tags, new with box, you can put in the description, but I would write them out also. Not everyone's on a Poshmark. Well, we've said this. I'm not going to beat that horse anymore. We get it. Let's not beat that horse anymore. And I take it that this is called flamingo, but I would also put, you have flamingos and pineapples. I would put flamingos and pineapples. I would put those words, flamingo, pineapple, maybe not plural, but put flamingo, pineapple in your title up here, because there may be people that are searching specifically for those words. Let's see. Again, and then just make sure that you have your title at the beginning and the end, your buyer confidence statement if you come up with one, and use your keywords. So, you could put like tropical, that's another keyword, tropical or beach or coastal or, any of those types of words like that you could use to try to help strengthen that with the search engine. So think of things that people who like stuff like this, what types of things would they be searching for? Okay, so we can also have pink, gold, makeup in your title, things like that. Go ahead. So things like that in the title so that if somebody was searching for this, if someone's searching for those words, they would also come across your item, because those are things that they like, and they may also like your item. So again, makeup, flamingo, pineapples, beach, coastal, tropical, pink, gold, metallic. You could put metallic in the in a keyword. All those things. Okay, so all right, we'll come off of that one. If you hear my kid and husband in the background, she has to go potty. He's helping her. All right, here, let's see this one. Okay, what was I doing? Okay, so this one, I don't remember exactly what I was pointing out for, but I will say the shadow. Ugh. Sorry, the shadow. Another thing, this might be what I pulled this out for. So one thing that I have been taught is that when you're searching, when you're going down, let's just go to like a news feed, okay? Okay, when you're on a news feed, actually probably not a good place to look. Let's just look Vince Camuto. Vince Camuto. Okay. So when you're scrolling down a news feed, when you're just scrolling through here, one thing that I have been taught when you're trying to decide like what background to use is people scroll like, my computer's not even being fast enough. Let me go back to the top. People scroll like this. They just kind of scroll blah, 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 blah. They scroll kind of at a fast speed. So it needs to be eye-catching. Okay? It needs to pop, okay? And the way you do that is the way you figure that out is squint your eyes and then scroll, okay? And as you're doing that, as you're squinting your eyes and scrolling, look at what's popping out and what's not, and then study those, okay? So for example, like, okay, I'm squinting my eyes. Let's see what's popping out. So this is not popping as much as this, because this is on this crisp white background and the color contrast is not as strong there. Like this one's popping out more. These are popping out more as shoes with little booties with my eyes squinted, as opposed to this where actually what's popping out most is that rose. Okay, so here these green top is popping out a lot. So just kind of squint and see, like, that's popping a lot. This is not. Like this one's doing better than that one. So just that's kind of the key to figuring out. So squint your eyes and see what's popping out, and then look at what those pictures are doing and how they're doing it to get their item to pop. Okay. And mostly it's about contrast. So you don't want as much of it like this is like, it looks really pretty because like if this was the only thing I was looking at, your background coordinates with it, with this dress, and that it's like the same like pinky color that's right there. And so it looks like a pretty coordination. Definitely get rid of the gray. I mean the shadow. But you don't necessarily want it to coordinate it. You want it to be contrasting. So this would probably be better against like a blue background as opposed to a pink background, because it's kind of pinks and oranges. So you want to look at like a color wheel. This is a good way to kind of do it too. If you're not sure, for people who aren't sure, like kind of look at like a color wheel, and it's going to be like the opposite. So if this is kind of like reds and oranges, you want to go opposite of it and be like blues and greens. So that's what you want as your background. If you had a pink or a purple, you want like a green or a yellow, because that's going to pop off of that background, but it's not going to clash. Like you don't want to put like the colors that are too close to each other and it's going to blend, or like, you know, if you want them across, because then they're going to complement each other but pop. So if you're ever not sure, use a color wheel. And this is where I was saying that I like have different color backgrounds. And what I would advise for you, I would say pick kind of your style of background, but then have multiples of them in these various different colors so that, either that or use straight white. Like those are my suggestions. If you don't want to mess with, which I think you are more stylish than that. I feel like you like this creative styling aspect, and I dig that about you. So I would definitely go into this realm as opposed to getting these colors that matchy. Go with colors that pop. So use that color wheel. Vince Camuto stripe belted high-low dress, size small. This isn't really a high-low. This is more like a shark bite is the word I would use, I think. Shark bite. I might even say something about these being vertical stripes. You've got a V-neck. You've got sleeveless. Those are all keywords to use. Be careful with this right here. I think I might put 0. That looks really good. Too bad you can't find it in this color because it's really showing that dress off well. Again, I think that you'd be well served. Let's see. You've got your exact title of your dress here. Okay. And this is unnecessary too because you've got it right here, but you've got your exact title of your dress. Do you have it anywhere? No. So I would try to get some of that like orange blossom. So like there's no color here. So orange blossom is even more important than size small. Stripe belted high-low. Like I said, it's not even high. It's a shark bite, which I also think that maybe the orange blossom might be more important than that because someone might be searching for this dress, and you're going to pop up if you have it there. I would also see if I could find a listing on a store for this dress, and if you do, steal their description. Copy and paste it or reword it the way you want, and any keywords they're using, any descriptive, when I say keywords, I mean descriptive words. Any descriptive words they're using, put it in there. Again, get keywords in your description, get in your title, get keywords in your description, get keywords into your style tags. All those places need keywords. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Okay, and we've got this one I clicked on. I really like how this is photographed. I really like that you open this up and put this on this cute little mirror display. I think that's really cute. It really showed off well. It's doing good on the white background. I have 0 complaints. I think the bag is cute. Like that looks really good. New 6-piece Clinique gift bundle includes Donald by Collector Edition bag. Okay, let's see. Try to get your brand name first. So I would have Clinique gift bundle, and you don't need the word includes or the comma because it's characters that are wasted that could be used for better things, more searchable. When I say better, I mean more searchable things that people are searching for. So Clinique 6-piece gift bundle, Donald X Collector Edition bag. And then maybe like apple. What is in here? Is this face? Like what is, let's see, makeup, cleanser, solvent, facial. Okay, so it's mostly like facial care. So maybe like, or facial or whatever this kind of theme is. Pick a word or two that kind of fits that theme and get that in here. Skincare or whatever, and get that word in there as opposed to even new, and definitely not includes. You don't even necessarily have to put bag. You could just put Donald X Collector Edition. Don't need the period. So I'm just trying to think of ways that you can use the characters here and get the most bang for your buck. Anytime you're using any characters, I mean, like the period's a character, the comma is a character. Those are all characters that could be used for more searchable things, so that when people are searching for items like this, yours is going to be one of the ones that pops up. If they don't see it, they can't buy it. And I don't know enough about this to give you anything more than that. I really just wanted to brag on that picture. So I don't know anything really. I'm not a makeup person. I don't sell makeup, so I don't really know much about that. All right, so those are the ones I kind of picked out to talk about. And so let me just look and see if there's anything else I want to talk about. So we've got a best or needs improvement listing. We've talked about pictures, I feel like. We've talked about titles and descriptions pretty much. Price comps. Your prices seem reasonable. So let's look at this, for example. Let's look at the limited stretch gray blazer. We'll just, you know what? Let's just take your whole title and let's see what happens. Let's see who your competition is. That's another thing to do. Okay, so when we put in your entire title, which this also needs to tell you something that we've got like extraneous words. Okay, so this is your direct competition. But so let's take this down a notch and let's get rid of hold on. Computer's being sketch. Let's get rid of that and just do the limited stretch gray blazer. Okay, we got a lot more now. Okay, but now it's going to sort by just shared, which that is the current sorting, and compared to some of the other things they've come out with, that is the one that is best at the moment, and hopefully Poshmark will come up with a better sorting method that both sorts according to what the person's searching for, but also favors, good titles as opposed to poor titles. Okay. So let's see. Where are you? Mom. I'm making a video. There you are right there. Okay. So here's the things you're competing against. So I think overall you're pretty good, except again, I have trouble knowing that this is specifically for the blazer. So again, do the eye squint test. So look at your competition, squint your eyes, and start scrolling. Is your blazer, because that's what you're selling, is your blazer popping out? These are popping out well. I see, my eyes are closed. I see jackets. I see jackets. I see jackets. Okay. Is yours popping out as a blazer? So see what I see in this picture? What's popping out is this right here, which happens to be your scarf, and I know that. And this right here, which happens to be your purse, and I know that. Your blazer is actually blending in with your background, and it's being overshadowed by the scarf and the purse because there's just too much of it. So have them be more of a second thought than the feature. And I mean, I think there's ways to do that. I don't style my pictures very often like that, unless it's adding to it. Like, for example, sometimes a dress, I'll put a belt on if I think it will look cute belted, and then I put the belt's not included, but I only put it for the cover shot. You probably saw that on that elephant dress where I kind of had a belt on it. I'll do that every once in a while. But the belt, it's obvious that the dress is the item for sale and not the belt. And I just put that the belt's not part of the dress, part of the listing. So anyways, okay, so, I mean, and I think there's definitely ways for you to get your little style and your little accessorizing in there that doesn't overshadow. I just think about it. Just, do some studying of other pictures and just kind of think about how you're doing that. I'm trying to find an example of where someone is styling their pictures. Okay, here. I mean, they styled their picture, but why? 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 Let's go back to that. Wherever that was, they styled their picture with a little, accessorizing with those little glasses in the book, made it kind of like academia, wherever it went. But it wasn't overshadowing the fact that, there we go. It's not overshadowing the fact, it's giving a feel, but it's not overshadowing the fact that this is for the blazer. Let's see. Okay, ooh, this is kind of cool. They've styled it in 2 different ways, which is, but the only reason I know this is for the blazer is because the blazer is the common denominator. And again, if I squint my eyes, they're not popping because they're blending in with this background. So, like, for example, if I was going to do this right here, I would actually make my background, I would probably make it this purple. Because then it's going to, my blazer is going to pop off the screen between the purple background, and the purple shirt is going to pop. So, they're putting good effort. This person's putting too much effort in to be charging $15. So, and I like it. I like that they're doing that. It's good effort, but it's still not popping. It's still not popping off the screen. And again, the only reason I know it's the blazer is because it's 2 different pictures with both of them have the blazer. Okay, let's see if we see anything else. Okay, I'm not seeing anything else right now, so I think you kind of get the point in that, you want to make sure that whatever's in the picture is adding to it and not detracting from it. You still have to know that whatever you're selling is the item you're selling, and if it's detracting from it, then get rid of it. Don't do that. It's not necessary to style pictures. I don't know. I just don't. Like, this is a stronger picture, even though pretend this was just on a dress form. It'd still be stronger because it's up against a white background and there's nothing to distract from it. There's a shirt with it, but it's not taking the lead role. It's not. So I guess that's a way to think of it. I think about it like a movie or something. Like, who's the lead character? Like, is your jacket the lead character? Like, squint your eyes. Is your jacket your lead character? It's not. And that's what you feel like is your strongest listing. And I'm not saying it's a terrible listing. I just think that, it's strong in that you styled it and you put a lot of effort into it, but it's not popping. Your blazer is not selling in this mix. Your price looks pretty good because if I look at these other prices, you're right in there. So just to get to comps for a second, if you want to comp out this blazer, you would go to, that's not what I want. You would go to solds right there. And you're going to get things with the limited stretch gray blazer that have sold, and you can see what they're selling for. Okay, so these are the types of prices you can expect to sell for. So what I would compare yourself to are, you want to look at a couple of things. You want to look at, is it the same quality? As in, is it new with tags, new without tags, used, blah, blah. Is my listing the same quality? Like, you don't want to say, all right, they only sold it for $5, but it's a terrible listing. Like, my listing is stronger than that. So a stronger listing is going to get you a higher price. And you can look at and see like what some of, like, this is not on a dress. This is not new with tags, but they got $27 for it. Like, what are people getting and what do their listings look like? You can kind of go through that and take into account fabrics. So, like, example, here's a new with tag. So it's A, it's new with tags, and B, what is the fabric? Like, is the fabric better than yours, worse than yours, whatever. So that's kind of some of the research you want to do when you're trying to decide how much to price things for. And then you need to decide, like, do you want to price your items so that you have wiggle room to negotiate, and then like how much wiggle room do you want to negotiate, or do you want to price your items for what, closer to what you want to get for it and then just get them sold? This is not that good at all. Like, that is not a good contrast right there. That's just going to disappear. Actually, the only thing that's going to show right there is the white of that mannequin. So, I mean, like, think about things like that. Like, how do you want to price? And that's actually something I'm thinking about lately, is like, how do I want to, in my head, what am I thinking when I'm trying to price things? Do I want to price things? Because historically what I've done is price high in order to have lots of negotiations, because that's kind of the culture of Poshmark. But is that really working? I don't know. Is it better to price closer to what I want, have lower prices with a less of a margin to negotiate, but maybe potentially sell more? I don't know. There's lots of schools of thought on that, and I think that it'd be great if somebody would do like an experiment on that. Kind of see how closets do with the similar items at different price strategies. But anyways, that's neither here nor there, but that's how you check comps, is mostly look at solds and look for things that are like what you have, and put yourself in that mix, and then decide like, well, is that, for example, say you have this same exact thing and the same exact, like say you have this exactly the same, you have a stock photo, it's the same quality, it's the same size, everything, all things are being equal, and they sold it for $20. Okay, so do you want to list it for $20 and take zero negotiation? Do you want to list it for $25 so that you have that little bit of padding? Do you want to list it for $40 so that you can get a 50% discount and still get $20? I mean, like, how do you want to do that? What is your strategy for how you want to price things? And again, I don't know what the perfect strategy is. I don't know that anybody knows what the perfect strategy is. You kind of have to figure out what's working for you and what's not, and just kind of fit yourself into those solds however you feel like you can. Okay, so let's go back to your closet a second. We're getting there. Okay, so let's go back to your closet. I just want to look at what you have sold. Okay, so look at what you have sold. That's another place that you can kind of like really get a feel for what's working for you, is to look at what you're selling and how much you're selling it for. And, are certain things doing better than others? As far as that, it looks like you're selling for good prices. Like, I feel like that you are selling for fair prices where, you're getting some money out of them, but at the same time, they're not overpaying, they're not underpaying. I feel like your prices feel pretty good as what you're selling them for. So then I would just kind of look at like, so you've got kind of an array of styles of photographs. So, what's working for you. This one had a lot of likes, so kind of look at like what's working for you. So this is a really good styling of this jacket. So you did a good job. Like, you styled it with something so it's not just a jacket hanging there, but you didn't overshadow it. You didn't overshadow the jacket with too much, like something too big that was detracting from the jacket. The jacket's the star, and this necklace is its, co-star, just to kind of like bring the star up, make the star look better. Same over here with the shirt. You've not picked something that's overshadowing your shirt. Like, it's in the same color. It's a statement necklace, but your dress is still, your shirt is still, I still know it's a shirt for the shirt, okay? So I guess statement, like if you don't want to add a statement piece, I guess that would be a good way to think about it. you don't want to add a statement, but here's another. Okay, so this is, you've done good. Like, you've accessorized it without overshadowing it. Now here I would be more careful because we've got black on black. It's kind of detracting, but you're covering up. Now you sold it, but you're covering up part of your piece, and that's not adding anything to it. It's not helping the listing at all. So